not to be long-winded, boy, do I have a lot to say today about Halloween. Y'all just be patient with me. Where did it come from? I'm going to tell you. Now, I'm going to be using my whiteboard. I'm going to be writing all over the place here in a minute. And if you know some of this history, if you already know it, well, then just sit there and act like you don't. Originally, what we call Halloween now, originally started as an ancient religion holiday of the Celtic people in Ireland. Is anybody in this room Irish? Okay.
A little bit.
Several. All right. Did you know that the Celtic people in that area of the world, when they were Celtic people, they originally had over 300 gods with a little g. Over 300 that they considered God. And this, what we call, they had holidays or feasts that they thought gave them good opportunities to access the spirit world. They were, I mean, this is a duh. They did understand that we live in one realm. We live in the earthly realm. We live on a physical planet in physical bodies, but there is another realm. There is a spiritual realm. They did know that. And here's where they kind of were trying to accomplish something, that we would have certain feasts or a couple of days a year that we'll call holidays that will put us real close in touch with this other realm. Okay, and that's what I'm going to tell you about those. The first one that they had Beltane. That was their first holiday. Beltane. And Beltane, you ready? Beltane was May 1st. Beltane was what they considered to be the beginning of summer, beginning of or springtime. It represented a lot of growth. And you know that even today there's still a lot of people that have a, what do you call it, spring day?
May Day?
Yeah. So this that originally kind of started as an opportunity for Celtic people to celebrate and get close in touch with the spirit realm in spring was Beltane. But then after Jesus rose from the dead and started Christianity, let me find this. There was, the Romans had another one that they called, hang on a minute. Maria. I spelled that wrong. I thought I did, that's why I erased it. That's Lemuria. Lemuria. Now that was like one of the original Catholic holidays. And guess when it was? May 13th. Interesting. And, which by the way, the wreck I was in was May 12th. But on May 13th, so we had two different things here. You had the Celtic people, or the Druids, celebrating a spring holiday in May, 1st of May. And the new Catholic, or new Christian people, celebrating a thing called Lemuria in the middle of May. And it was also about springtime. It was also basically, it was their original, listen to me, the Catholic Christian original All Saints Day was Lemuria. Okay. We'll come back to that in a minute. That was the original one. All right. Now, the Celtic Celtic people, they had another holiday or feast that they celebrated. And y'all know this one. This is not how it's pronounced, but yeah. Everybody thinks that says Samhain. That's how it's spelled, but it's actually pronounced Samhain. That was how you pronounce it. Samhain. But it's spelled Samhain. Let's just call it Samhain. And guess when they celebrated? Now remember, Beltane was to celebrate spring and new life. Samhain was celebrated on October 31st is when they celebrated Samhain. And what did October 31st represent? The other change of life. Spring represented babies and new life, which actually Beltane has a lot to do with where we ended up celebrating Easter, with Easter eggs and bunnies and chicks and all that stuff. It kind of came from there, but that's a different message. But Samhain, which was a pagan Celtic holiday celebrated the last day of October, was to celebrate death. Beltane celebrates new life in the year beginning, and now this kind of celebrates, we're leaving, we've gone through planting and reaping, and now it's kind of going into the fall, it's going into the winter, it's kind of represented the other side. I don't know if I'm making sense to you. This kind of represented birth in a sense, and this kind of represented death in a sense. Okay. Now, another